Real quick, this podcast is based on my own research, my perspective, and the stories I was able to dig up. So I might not have every detail, but a lot of this shit, yeah, it really did happen. So y'all don't come for me. Oh, and I need to warn y'all. Some episodes include violent crimes, rape, homicide, and crimes against children. So listener discretion is advised. They say Florida's all sun beaches and palm trees, but we know different. This ain't tourist Florida. This the truth. From Duval to Dade. Because down here, Florida ain't sweet.
It be large.
All right, y'all. We back with another one. Welcome to Florida Ain't Sweet.
Charlene,
This your girl Punkin, and I'm here with my co-host.
Miss Novi, baby.
All right, friends. So today's episode is called Where the Money.
Hey, where them dollars at?
You already know that's how we get down. Where is the money?
I wonder if it's a scribble. They a scribble?
Not even close. Um,
Damn.
so let's get in our box Chevy, and we finna go 95 south on the flow 69,
Where we going?
Dade County.
Hey, 305, take it to the house. Hey.
All right, so this one ain't really that sweet. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It ain't wrapped up with
Yeah.
a bow. It
You
ain't
have to
even
pull out the stick.
nope. It ain't even in no box. It's still open.
Damn. Oh, they ain't found them.
Nope.
Damn.
We gonna ride all the way back to October 2001.
We was in 11th grade.
2001, early in the morning, before the city really woke up, and before them school buses started squeaking brakes.
Mm-mm.
So, like I said, it was early in the morning. I'm gonna lay this little story out. We're gonna lay the scene. We're gonna, put that together first. On this particular day, it was early in the morning. It's still dark outside because I believe somewhere close to this time of the year. Sometimes, depending on what time you catch the school buses, early in the morning, and sometimes
Right.
it's still dark.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
a lady
True.
named Gwendolyn Brown, she had just dropped off her teenage daughter at the bus stop.
I
This her.
mean, was somebody else there?
They say she dropped off, so I'm assuming she waited till the bus came and made sure she got on the bus. And it's like her
Okay.
everyday, regular routine.
Because I was about to say, I ain't finna drop my baby off and ain't nobody else.
No,
I don't even drop her off.
she made sure she got on the bus because this ain't nothing crazy,
Okay,
nothing
okay,
unusual.
okay.
So
Okay.
after she dropped her off, she walked her back to her house. She got a 3-story house somewhere near, it say 296th Street and 158th.
Mm. That
In
don't make
Miami,
sense.
all they numbers,
I know.
like it's numbers and not names, and maybe I don't know why I get confused, but anyway, it's in Miami.
Yeah, no, yeah, because the avenues, the numbers are lower than the actual streets. Like, no, the avenues they start from, second, seventh on up. And then you get into the streets that are higher in numbers, like what you just said.
Um,
It depends on what did they say? Liberty City,
no, it didn't.
Overtown, Care City.
I ain't even look it
Oh,
up
okay.
because we just know it was in Miami.
Okay.
But the daughter, not like I said, she done got on the bus. She went to school, but that don't mean the house empty. So still at
Mm.
home. Once she get back, it's her husband Jeffrey Cochran, common law husband Jeffrey Cochran. Um,
Mm. He come Ken and Johnny.
I don't think so. I
Oh,
don't think so.
okay.
He was upstairs on the second floor, sleeping in bed because, like I said, it's early in the morning. It's still dark. And in the bed with Jeffrey was 1-year-old Jarkeius Adside.
Mm.
Now let's explain the connection here.
Okay, yeah, because I'm
So,
confused.
Gwendolyn Brown was Jarkeus's mother's. cousin.
Okay.
She was babysitting him and she had been watching him for a couple of days.
Damn, what his mama was.
Exactly. Like where his mama at, where his daddy. I already know what y'all was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
I could
Why she
see
got this baby?
I could see if you say a couple hours, but you had in off real a couple of days.
2 days. Well,
Okay. I mean, well,
unfortunately,
that's not bad.
it's the reason for it because both of his parents was in jail. That's why she had him.
Oh, dang.
So Jarkeius' mother, her name is Tamara Jones, and she was locked up in Palm Beach jail on an attempted theft charge at Burdines.
Oh, she was stealing back then. She was a little booster. Okay.
More than likely. Now, I
Mm.
know some of y'all ain't as old as we are, so just know that Macy's bought out Burdines. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Different
Yep. Same
logo,
so.
different colors. It really ain't
Mm-hmm.
much difference.
Same thing, y'all.
Now, his father, Joshua Adside, he was in Hillsborough County Jail awaiting trial for arms trafficking. I think he was trying to he's smuggling guns.
Oh, he was up there in Tampa. Okay.
But baby Jarkeius was staying with family where he should be safe.
Yeah, 'cause the mama and daddy was crazy.
But wait, there's more. So Gwen done took her daughter to school and she walking back home. Gwen,
Okay.
she walked up to her house and she later told police that three attackers jumped up, like they jumped out, like get her from behind a bush in the shed. Three of them. She said they
What the
grabbed
hell?
her, they duct taped her, and they dragged her up 17 steps to the second floor bedroom.
Damn.
Inside, she said the intruders, like they started ransacking the house, turning stuff over, turning over furniture, throwing clothes everywhere, ripping open the ceiling vents, tearing through the house just looking for money. And they
Damn.
keep asking, "Where the money? Where the money? Stop playing with me! Stop playing with me! Where is the money?"
And she like, what money? They beating her across the head. She don't even know
Mm.
why.
Meanwhile, in the other bedroom is Jeffrey Cochran and baby Jarkeius, but they had to duct tape them too.
What the hell? The child ain't do nothing.
Now this the story Gwen told that eventually they ran off. The intruders they ran off.
Okay.
And here's where things start getting complicated because you know the plot thickens.
Mm.
Gwen and Jeffrey said it took them 2 hours to free themselves using a pair of scissors.
Damn.
Now where they got the scissors from, I don't know.
I mean, you supposed to have everybody got scissors in their house.
But if you tied up on the bed, I don't know. I ain't got no scissors next to the bed. Maybe they was in another room. You right. Maybe they, since they were duct tape. We'll talk about that in a second. Now they say they couldn't call the police or for no help sooner because, of course, they was tied up and struggling to get loose with them scissors. And when they finally got free, they noticed several things were stolen, but one thing that mattered more than anything was missing, and
What's
that
that?
was Jarkeius. He was gone,
The baby. I was gonna say that.
like Justin Timberlake. Gone.
Damn. So they took the baby.
The baby was gone.
Damn.
So then they called the police. The police came. They're like, "What's going on?" Cause
Wait, how long? How? I mean, how old is Jarkey?
one,
Oh.
he 1 years
Hmm.
old.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
This is where it kind of get crazy because inside of that house, it wasn't just messy; it was alarming. Because
Oh, so
when they got
they was nasty.
no, when the police got there, they found a blood-soaked mattress,
Oh.
blood-stained sheet, blood in multiple areas throughout the house, and
What
forensic
the?
testing later confirmed that the blood belonged to Jarkeius.
Oh my God.
They said the amount of blood they found meant either he was severely injured or dead.
Oh. Oh my God. What they did to the little
And
boy?
then it get worse.
Damn.
Jeff and Gwen said they heard a gunshot.
So wait, where the fuck they was when all this happened?
They
It's
tied
supposed
up.
to be. Oh my.
They tied up.
That just don't. So
But
they seen the people.
here's what made detectives pause. Probably the same thing. Because they like, ma'am, sir, So
This don't make sense.
did they take the baby to another room? You ain't see nothing? No, we ain't seen nothing.
Hell no.
Like,
They
why would
lying.
somebody with a gun shoot a baby? We don't know.
That don't make sense. That don't make sense at
And then they
all.
took the body. Yeah, I guess because he gone. Like,
Mm-mm.
it don't make sense because, like you was just saying, if they shot like this baby, like before they even shot them, we said like Jeff and the baby and Jarkeius was supposed to be in the bed together. They had bound them together, and then Gwen was supposed to be in there. So did they take the baby out of the room and then they
Right.
heard it? Like, I don't know. Was y'all blindfolded too? And you just hearing things? I don't know. I'm real
Yeah.
confused.
That's what I'm feeling. It's just like because my thing is if they ambush her from the back, like did she
Right.
not? Because usually if somebody's to the back, what you see, they'll be to the back of you, turn around on the side, come around to the front. So like they never saw them in front of them or on the side like that. It's not making sense. Did they get a chance to even see the people? Like, cause that part is what's standing out to me. It's
It's
not
three
making sense.
people, and they didn't even like. They don't even know what they look like. They don't really have a description. All she's saying is they dragged her upstairs, and I have a question about that because why would they drag you up 17 steps to the to the second floor? If I'm gonna drag you and take you up, I'm gonna leave your ass right there in the living room. I'm not finna drag you upstairs. You finna lay right here. It's not making
Maybe
sense
them killers had something else in mind.
because this what make it even worse. It was drugs here because we found them. That's what the police said. So they took the baby and left the drugs. Well,
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
not making no sense.
I don't know why they took our baby, but they took him because during the search, the officers found several grams of cocaine.
Mm.
So
Just in
police like,
different spots around the house.
I don't, they didn't even say it was just inside the house. But if the police was able to find them, surely three intruders would be able to find it. Like, they ain't coming here for the
Yeah.
drugs. What the hell was they looking for?
I don't think she was ambushed. Her and that husband just is weird. They did that shit. That it just don't sound right. But
So the police
go
is
let
like,
uh,
so y'all deaf, blind, and stupid.
ah! Not all three.
Gotta be.
Cause that's just not making no sense.
It's not. But so much so, the police ain't think so either because they took Gwen and Jeff to jail.
As they should.
They got them on drug
'Cause
charges, on, possession charges.
yeah, as they should. Cause it's not making sense.
But they was never charged in connection with Jarkei's disappearance.
No.
But the questions done started racking. Rats on rats on rats. Because you remember Auntie Gwen, dude, Jeffrey, that we've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
So state criminal records showed that he had a criminal history that looked like a CVS receipt. The
Damn. That mean it
police,
was long.
long as hell. Police ain't feel like whoever took Jarkeius was related or it had anything to do with Jeffrey, but they was like, still, we're gonna write that down because it might be on the test.
Mm.
Now, Tamara Jones, Jarkeius' mama, said Jeffrey had a reputation back in the day as a big time dope dealer.
Okay, so he used to be that boy back in the day.
Back
Okay.
in the day, she said, the type when people go to jail for 10 years and they come home and they ain't got no money, that's Jeffrey.
Oh. Oh.
Not, she don't call the man a brokey.
Damn.
But for real, Jeffrey had suffered a stroke. Like in these recent years, he had suffered a stroke and he couldn't see like he used to. He can't move the same. So he was applying for Social Security, and
Damn.
he just went out here moving and shaking like he used to. He couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So when they asked him if he knew what happened to Jarkeius, he said, "Man, I don't know. I guess my past finally catching up to me."
Well, what the hell that's supposed to mean?
I mean, exactly, because what the fuck is that supposed to
Yeah,
mean?
like that ain't even his baby. What the hell he talking about?
Don't make sense.
At all.
Now, meanwhile, Tamara, his mama, was sitting in jail. She grieving. Where's my baby? I trusted these people. You know how you get, and somebody done told her we can't find them. They done took them. She said she had no reason to doubt Gwen and Jeff because they had never done nothing before to hurt her baby.
Mm,
Of
that's
course,
tough.
she did get out eventually, but a little bit about the baby is he wasn't the only child. He was the youngest of seven children. So he
Dang.
has six other siblings that's grieving for him. And one of his brothers, his name was Jarkeius.
So
He
Jarkeius and Jackie.
Jarkeius and Jarkeius.
That's similar.
Jarkeius was 4 at the time, but
Oh,
she
okay.
she was like he keep crying and asking for his little brother to come home. During
Mm,
this time, they all lived in a 2 bedroom over at Biscayne Palm apartment complex near Coral Castle.
okay.
So that's an idea of where they were. I'm not sure where that is in
Mm-hmm.
Miami either. Miami ain't no little bit of land. So I mean they didn't have much. The apartment barely had furniture. It had beds. But this one about money because Jeffrey damn sure ain't have no money. They were just trying to survive.
Sound like it.
But
That
Tamara
one
said
sound like it.
Jarkeius, he stayed over there with Gwen and Jeffrey all the time. He was they baby. That's the one they took to. And they felt like it was family helping family. At
Mm-hmm.
least that's what it looked like. And,
Right.
a lot of us, that's what we want from our people. We want a family that'll step in and pitch in and help out when they can. They don't have to do it all the time. It's not our obligation. You're not obligated to. But it's nice. Now, the police spokesperson, his name was Juan Del Castillo. Why that sound like somebody from First 48? I had to look that up. He said that why would anyone want to take a child? We don't know. We have no idea. They looked everywhere for Jarkeius. So if you think that the police ain't do their job, no.
Okay.
They looked
They
everywhere
they
for
sound
him.
like they was on it. Right.
They searched the canal. They even sent out U.S. Customs helicopter, with the heat sensors. They sent out the bloodhounds to try and track his scent. They had a dive team that went into the water. Everything. They ain't find nothing. Not a thing. No sign of Jarkeius, no body, no answers, nothing. Now, Miami-Dade homicide detectives, they officially took over October 23rd, 2001. And it's not because they thought he was dead, but because they can get more detectives on it if they switch it over to homicide. Now, they did find fingerprints. They found a little paper trail, a few clues here and there from the house where they was going in and out, the people that supposedly went in and out. They ran the DNA, and the blood, of course, belonged to Jarkeius. But the investigators began to feel some of this was real suspect because why wait 2 hours to call the police? Yeah.
That is just. I'm sitting here trying to process that. It's just not. I don't know. It's not adding up. And I know the detectives and the police is looking at each other stupid because it's like, what do they have to work on? What do they have to work off of?
It's not much.
And then they talk about they ain't see nothing. So what the hell did they see?
It-
Like, what do they know?
It's interesting because, like I was talking about, them scissors and them 2 hours, it's like it took y'all 2 hours to get out of duct tape with the scissors, yes. But I just I don't know. Maybe it's because of where I keep my scissors. It's just if I'm duct tape, it's kind of hard to get into. I don't. It sounds really suspect. It's a lot. And then,
Mm,
like I said, if some intruders came in, you think they just gonna leave coat?
hell no.
And why would they even shoot the baby? Like, what motive did they have to shoot the baby and take the body? What was that gonna do for them?
I
Like,
guess they thought a whole lot.
cause if
Dang.
we know niggas in the hood, they ain't street code is women and children. They don't mess with babies. So why shoot them?
Yeah, true. Makes sense.
I mean, they questioning the neighborhoods and everything. Like, they done did all they little 1, 2, they done did everything. Now, one neighbor, she did report seeing a suspicious person near the front door around the time the baby was took, but that's all they heard. But nobody heard a gunshot. So only Gwen and Jeff heard the gunshot.
Yeah, 'cause at this point, they ass don't know nothing. They pissing me off. I know them detectives was pissed off.
So every now and then this story a repost because it's been a long time since this happened, and the streets got something to say, and the opinions always be strong.
Of course, the streets always talk.
So, like I said, it'll post like different social media will post certain like his picture and whatnot. But I don't look through all the comments because I'm nosy.
Yeah, of course. We all hey, that's our thing. We gonna check them comments. We gonna
Definitely
scan
check
it
the
now.
comments. So some people
Okay.
said the cousins, Gwen, her boyfriend killed that baby and the cousin covered it up. And then somebody else said the mom's slow for thinking otherwise. Somebody else
That's
was like,
crazy.
it sounds like drugs and chaos. Somebody else was like, if it's that much blood, that baby is dead.
But it's just like I'm trying to think like, okay, nobody else thought that. Like out of them two, like y'all didn't think that. Like it had to take all these other minds of detectives and other people to actually put that thought out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they thought it. I'm almost positive that they thought it. It doesn't. I honestly kind of feel the same way. I mean, if I'm giving my own opinion, I kind of feel the same way these people do because none of this stuff adds up. I really feel like Gwen them came up with a story to cover up something that
Exactly.
happened.
It what they did,
I
exactly.
don't know what they
They
did or
done
what
did
the
something.
real story is, but I feel like three intruders ain't it.
At all. They done did some shit.
But I wasn't there. You know what I mean? My opinion really is just my opinion.
Yeah, 'cause we really weren't there. Only them and the baby know.
Exactly. Because they were the only ones that were there. And unfortunately, poor baby, they don't know where he at.
Yeah, right. He ain't there no more, which is sad.
Now, I do have to put this out there. Here's some facts. Now, remember, this is a missing persons case. His name is Jarkeius Adside. He disappeared on October 18th, 2001. He was 1 years old. At the time, he was wearing a diaper and a red, white, and blue Tommy Hilfiger shirt. And he had cornrows in his head. They did find blood throughout the home, but Jarkeius was never found. Now, in 2018, for the National Missing Kids Week, the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, they posted about him, but still it's no updates. Jarkeius would
Mm,
be 25 years old today.
dang. Quarter century. Can't even make it. Damn, poor baby.
25. He would be a grown man.
Dang. That's
Now,
crazy. Like it's just not okay. We got to keep going, right?
yeah,
We,
I'm
we
gonna
we
go
got to
back to
keep
it because
going.
we can voice we're gonna voice our opinions just to finish.
Yeah, 'cause it's too many. It's too many
It's
holes.
too many
It just
holes. Now, I
yeah.
will
It's too.
say police didn't find a connection between his disappearance and either one of his parents. So the parents, they feel like they weren't involved. And the official story right now, that's still it, is that it was a alleged robbery with three unidentified men.
Suspect. Yeah.
The investigators in the streets have publicly said that it sound cap. But either way, the case remains unsolved. So if you have any information about Jarkeius' Adside disappearance, contact the Miami-Dade Police Department at 305-471-8477. Because time don't erase the truth, but it do test who willing to tell it.
Mhm. So that time gonna tell, boy.
So friend, that's actually the end of our story. So
What?
now we can go back and yeah, that's it.
What the hell?
I told you it wasn't long, but it's a lot of holes in this story. Like you said, it's
Yeah, it's too many. I wish y'all could see my face right now. Like, the saying dumbfounded. I look real dumb right now because I'm just confused. It's like it did not add up. And then to know that nobody know what happened to the damn baby.
mm-mm, nope. And it was
That's
like
crazy.
they used the resources that they had back then to try and track him, and they still didn't find anything. They didn't find his body or anything. And I'm with the people. If they found that much blood and everything, I really don't feel like he's still alive. But what did they do with this baby? Where did they
Yes.
take him? Where did he go?
Because if there is blood in multiple places, it's like what the hell happened?
They mainly found it in the bed.
Mm.
So it's almost sounding as if they something happened. I don't know what happened, and this is like I said, my personal opinion. Something happened in the house, and because of the blood that was soaked in the mattress and the sheets, and they came up with this story to say, "A he did it." Now it could be
Mm-hmm.
Jeff. It could be Jeff because remember Gwen went to drop her daughter off to school. So what if Gwen
Mm-hmm.
came back home and he done did something to this baby and now it's like, oh shit, now we gotta cover it up. And that's why it took them two
Yeah.
hours to call.
So Gwen helped her man.
That's what the streets say. The streets
So
feel like
in today's time, she'll be on For My Man episode
that's
because
exactly what it sounds like a For My Man episode.
since you is dumb. First of all, what I'm getting in my mind right now is that I don't even want to think them thoughts, but he did something to that baby, and she backed him up,
See, I don't know if
and
it
they
was
got rid
him
of him.
or her, but somebody did something. It was one of the
If there
two.
was right, if there's bleeding, and usually when a child is involved, it's that child's blood. That's what the detectives confirmed.
Yeah.
He had them messed with that little baby, cause ain't no way.
It was blood everywhere. So much so that the detectives felt like it's either he was seriously injured or he was dead. It was just too much blood.
Mm. And for them to never like find it. So did they hold those two accountable? Were they
No,
charged being that they was in his care?
no,
He was in their care.
they was never charged
What? So
with
they
his
never got what?
they were never
They
charged with
didn't.
his
They didn't
disappearance.
charge him with nothing.
No, they didn't have enough evidence to charge them with anything.
What the hell?
So
Even
this
though the baby blood was there everywhere and they could not find him.
right now the story still is that she got attacked. Well, they got attacked by three people and they took the baby.
What the hell? They
Eh,
must knew the police or something.
I
People just did not give a fuck back in 2001 because
they probably ain't
that's
give a
not
fuck.
making that's not making no sense
They probably didn't
at
care.
all.
Because that don't make sense. But police have to have ample enough evidence to arrest them because otherwise they can get off and they can't arrest them again for the same crime.
Yep,
They pretty much got to make sure they got all, or at least a lot of ducks in a row so that when they do try them with something, it'll stick. I
right.
mean, a body would make sense. They can maybe do some type of testing and figure out more of what happened, maybe. I don't know because it's 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, and things so different now as to where like right now that shit wouldn't fly at all.
Man, they'd have been on Glenn and Jeff ass.
Like white on rice
Exactly.
because
Where
what
his goddamn baby at?
they would have got charged with negligent child endangerment. They ain't even need nobody. It's the fact that the blood was found and they were last to have him in their care. It wouldn't have been nothing that's needed.
Could have been endangerment. I mean, they did get arrested on drug charges. I mean, how you gonna have a baby there and y'all on coke? So that could
Yeah,
be
but it's like
endangerment at least. That's still not gonna do nothing for this murder or the
it just
disappearance. They ain't do
yeah,
nothing.
it's just not that's just not making sense that they didn't have nothing being charged pertaining to that child. That's
Nope.
what's mind blowing to me. That's the crazy part. Even though the mama and daddy was messed up, like how
Right.
did they feel?
Now the mom and daddy, I'm not sure they didn't say. I didn't find much on the dad. I didn't honestly. I didn't do a lot of research on the parents, but I do know that the mom spoke up and she's been saying like she trusted them. So and she didn't have no reason to believe they would actually do anything to him because they seem to be, pretty trustworthy.
Hmm.
But at the time she out here in survival mode doing what she need to do at the burn, so she wasn't there. So somebody else, unfortunately, when you involve yourself in certain crimes, somebody else resumes the responsibility for your children. And not all the time do those people be good people. Some of them
Yeah,
be a
that's
wolf in
true.
sheep's clothing.
Yeah, they be bad, bad people. Like the saying say, hurt people hurt people.
And we just
And they
don't know
definitely, they
what the
definitely hurt
background
that
is.
baby, that poor baby.
But I really don't think that anybody was out to get Jeff and they came in and took the baby. I just don't believe that scenario either.
That's the most bogus shit story I ever heard.
Like,
It wasn't
Jeff,
nobody out to get down one of their ass.
you sold drugs 10 years ago. Ain't nobody looking to buy no drugs from you.
And as much as it's saying that it was so much coke around, they ass probably was damn hallucinating.
So it ain't no reason to say that, oh, they took the baby for like a ransom or payback or anything like
Hell,
that.
hell
I don't
no.
see that either.
They don't even know what ransom is. Child, please. Them people did something to that little boy. That poor
And
baby.
that ain't
God.
even a baby. So like
Exactly.
that's the wrong
That's
person to
what make
take.
it. That's what make it even more disturbing. That's
This is a
crazy,
hot
man.
mess.
Very. And for it to still be open, not resolved 25 years later, that's crazy. I really did not expect for that story to turn out like that. So what the hell did the title have to do with it? Like where the money at? Like what the hell?
That was about them three robbers.
Damn.
No, they kept asking where the money, but
Yeah,
according to Gwen, when they came in, that's what they was asking.
that's crazy, man. Gwen and her husband a piece of shit.
Something ain't right. Some in the milk ain't
And did
clean.
that. Yeah, man, they did that damn baby like that. That ain't shit, man. That's crazy.
So I just pray that in this lifetime, Tamara can find out what happened to her baby.
For real. Because everybody needs closure, you know?
Right,
Granted, it'll never close and fill that hole in her heart because as us being mothers, when you give birth to a child, and hats off and my heart go out to those of you that may have lost a child.
right,
That's touching. You know what I'm saying? You familiar with it, and there's a lot of people out there that's familiar with it. But to actually have had your child for a full year and to trust somebody that you know, so you can go ahead and do your business, and to find that out, you're never gonna see your child again. That's devastating.
and I
And
ain't
then
even
for
gonna just
nobody
say
to have
Tamara,
a
like for Joshua too, because you know, definitely, at least Joshua and not Joshua, you know, Jarkeius and Jackius was his.
yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if all of them were, but that part don't even matter.
And I'm sure that hurt the big brother, the
Right.
other brother.
He's look, if Jarkeius would have been 25, like Jackius is 29 years old.
That's crazy.
So
And I'm sure he remember his brother.
definitely.
That's the crazy part. That's so sad, man.
And we don't know nothing that
R.I.P.
happened. I hope they're able to get closure and find peace and they able to still like stay strong because it's tough. I don't even want to imagine what it's like to lose a child, not only lose a child, but to not know what happened to them.
Yeah, that's the part for me. Like to not know anything. Like nobody has any update. And I'm just supposed to go on with my life. And my baby that I left here is not here no more. Yeah,
Right?
I couldn't, friend.
It's tough.
That's crazy. Well, y'all, let us know what y'all think. It's
Definitely
still
let us know.
it's crazy, man.
Definitely let us know because we want to know what's your theory. I mean, don't just take my word for it.
Cause as a mama, boy, I would have burnt some shit down. Ain't no motherfucking way. But then again, I'm not that type of mama. I wouldn't have been in nobody's street, still not the stove. But it's no judging. People do what they have to do
Yeah,
in the
we don't know
environments that they in. I don't
Tamara's
know
story.
what right.
Why she felt like she
Mm,
had to go in the store and take what she needed. Who knows? I don't know. But I do know that she did have somebody trustworthy to watch her child, and they dropped the ball.
definitely did.
And what would hurt even
Oh
worse
man.
is for me, even on Gwen's end, I also feel like I would be hurt if I'm watching somebody baby and they go missing on my watch.
Hell yeah, I'd never be the same.
So
I would never be the same.
I can't say that it's easy for her
Either
either.
way, yeah. Either way.
But
But
if she did something, then
Yeah.
karma is coming for your ass.
Hell yeah. And it don't matter if it's 25, 35, 40 years.
Oh,
And
it don't have no
sometimes
expiration date.
karma miss you and hit your children. So you gotta be careful with that shit.
Ain't no telling. We'll have to do a real deep dive to find that out.
Yeah. Definitely gotta dig up some more info, see what's going on. Cause as far as when it comes to that, things are so much more advanced now.
Right.
When a lot of cases is similar to this, missing person cases get reopened. Oh man, that DNA ain't nothing to play with. Any little ounce they can find from whenever it happened.
I'm talking about
Oh, it opens up
microscopic.
everything. So prayers up to that baby boy, man.
Right, right.
That's sad.
And in addition
Mm-mm,
to even giving us y'all opinions, shoot, if you know something, let us know. Hey, I'll report the shit for you. Fuck it.
real,
Let me know. I'll report
real.
it.
Yeah, so that's sad,
This family
man.
needs closure.
Definitely. And kids are innocent.
Right.
You gotta be a real fucked up individual to harm a child. Like you just sick. Mm-mm-mm.
All right, y'all. Before we slide out, make sure y'all tapped in with us on all platforms. Follow us on Instagram at Florida Ain't Sweet Pod, on TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Just search for Florida Ain't Sweet. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Check us out. And also, again, if you know of any cases, missing persons, just like this one, urban legends, solved cases, cold cases, especially if they black, and especially if they happen right here in Florida, you can send it to
Let
me at
us
Florida A Suite
know.
at gmail.com. We're
Let
going
us
to do the
know
research
and
and we're going to tell the
get
story.
it out to you. Yep. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Don't keep it to
Tap
yourself.
in. Tap in. Tap in.
Because trust me, they're going to want to hear these stories. But all right, that was another one where the sunshine don't blind us and the streets don't lie. It's real heat in these streets because
Florida
ain't sweet.
ain't sweet.
It be large.